person who wrote to me said that they worked on the set of It Ends With Us, okay? And that the villain in this entire story is not Blake Lively, it's not Justin Baldoni, but it is Ryan Reynolds.
Blake Lively's flawless image is falling apart. Once America's golden girl, her courtroom confession has exposed a darker side marked by manipulation, control, and career-destroying power plays. Behind the scenes of It Ends With Us, the truth is unraveling fast. Sources say Ryan Reynolds has hit his breaking point, distancing himself from Blake's growing scandal and focusing on his kids and solo projects. Hollywood's golden couple may be on the edge of collapse.
Lively's legal team saying the experiences of Ms. Lively and others were documented at the time they occurred starting in May of 2020.
4 years, they were the definition of relationship goals, the teasing banter, the red carpet chemistry, the unwavering support. But insiders say the reality is far from perfect. Behind the smiles, Ryan Reynolds is reportedly rethinking everything as Blake Lively's public image crumbles. His reputation for authenticity now clashes sharply with the manipulative persona Blake's actions seem to reveal. It all began in December 2024, when the New York Times ran a shocking exposé titled "We Can Bury Anyone Inside a Hollywood Smear Machine." The piece painted Blake as the innocent victim of a brutal campaign led by co-star Justin Baldoni, alleging misconduct and targeted attacks. Emotional, dramatic, and perfectly tailored, it fit the Blake Lively brand too well. But now, many are questioning how much of that story was real.
Going on to write, Mr. Baldoni acknowledged the complaints in writing at the
For months, Blake insisted she'd had nothing to do with the New York Times exposé, claiming the journalists uncovered the story on their own. Meanwhile, Justin Baldoni's reputation was sinking fast. The article had branded him as controlling, predatory, and toxic, labels that stuck and nearly destroyed his career. Then came the courtroom bombshell that changed everything. Under oath, with cameras rolling and the world watching, Blake finally cracked. "Actually, I did give them an interview." 5 quiet words, but they hit like a grenade. The courtroom froze. It was the kind of stunned silence that happens when someone accidentally reveals how the illusion really works. Months of denial, perfectly polished PR statements, all undone in seconds. Behind the scenes, those who worked on It Ends With Us tell a story that doesn't match Blake's calm, composed public persona, a set filled with tension, control, and emotional strain few dared to speak about until now.
And I think that the Justin and Blake stuff is, I think it's a big PR game.
The It Ends With Us set, insiders say, wasn't just a film production, it was a battleground of egos, tension, and unspoken grudges. You could feel the pressure every day, a production assistant revealed. People were walking on eggshells. Now, multiple crew members are breaking their silence, describing an atmosphere that was tense and fraught with fear. And at the heart of the controversy lies one pivotal moment, the birth scene. Blake claimed the sequence left her feeling violated and humiliated. But Adam Manchin, the actor who portrayed her on-screen OBGYN, remembers it very differently. "My experience working with her was nothing like what she described in her lawsuit," he said. "I was honestly shocked when I read her version of events." It's yet another piece of a story that seems to shift every time new voices come forward, leaving Hollywood to wonder what really happened when the cameras weren't rolling.
And I think that we're all the pawns of it. And also that story I gave you, that's one where I've talked to them. I feel comfortable sharing that.
Blake's lawsuit alleged that Justin Baldoni cast one of his close actor friends for an intimate scene, someone whose face and hands, she claimed, were positioned uncomfortably close to her nearly unclothed body. But Adam Manchin, the actor in question, strongly disputes that version of events. He insists Blake's account is exaggerated and misleading, casting doubt on the credibility of her other accusations. Adding to the controversy is a resurfaced Forbes interview that's now being re-examined in a new light. During the Forbes Women's Summit, Blake candidly described her approach to film sets. "I would show up knowing they just wanted me to look cute and stand on a little pink sticker," she said. "But that wasn't fulfilling for me. I wanted to be part of the storytelling." She went on to admit that she often concealed her true intentions during early meetings. "I wouldn't reveal that I actually need to have authorship in order to feel fulfilled." So for them, sometimes that might have felt like a rug pull because you're trying to assert yourself into something they didn't hire you to do. In hindsight, those comments paint a striking picture, one of quiet calculation and control beneath the polished charm. And for critics, it raises the question, was Blake Lively simply misunderstood, or was she always orchestrating the narrative behind the scenes?
Because she wasn't doing well on the promo tour for the movie. It was very tone deaf. Her hair care line wasn't doing well. She was trying to sell booze while talking about domestic violence.
This candid admission exposes what many now see as a clear pattern, Blake Lively deliberately concealing her true motives to seize creative control. It's exactly the kind of manipulation Justin Baldoni's team claims took place during It Ends With Us. And now, a full-blown legal storm is on the horizon. Insiders say Blake's recent confession wasn't a moment of honesty, it was pure panic. This Monday, June 23rd, powerhouse attorney Brian Friedman, representing Baldoni, is set to file an amended complaint that promises to leave no stone unturned. According to sources, the filing will include a mountain of evidence, emails, text messages, and detailed production timelines that allegedly reveal a very different story than the one Blake's team has been pushing. What's more, insiders claim the new complaint will directly implicate both Blake and Ryan Reynolds in a months-long coordination effort with the New York Times to damage Baldoni's reputation. Blake's sudden courtroom confession, it seems, wasn't an act of courage, it was a last-ditch move before the legal hammer dropped. She saw the tsunami coming, one source said, and decided to admit she got her feet wet before it hit. And as if that weren't enough, a new documentary titled It Ends With Justice is reportedly set to expose everything, and it might just change the entire narrative once and for all.
Defend Justin Baldoni in this lawsuit with Blake Lively because I think she's horrible and she's made up this whole thing because she tried to steal his movie.
An upcoming documentary titled It Ends With Justice is promising to reveal the full, unfiltered truth behind the It Ends With Us production. The filmmakers say they've gathered powerful first-hand testimonies from crew members who witnessed what really went on, people who've stayed silent until now, fearing for their careers. These aren't anonymous leaks or vague rumors, the documentary's creator explains. These are direct accounts from individuals who were there every day, who saw how the power dynamics shifted when the cameras stopped rolling. Speaking out against Hollywood heavyweights like Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds isn't without risk. Crew members could face blacklisting or lose future job opportunities. But according to the filmmakers, several have come forward anyway, believing the truth is worth the cost. The documentary also exposes troubling inconsistencies in Blake's version of events. It points out that negative articles targeting Justin Baldoni began surfacing in August 2024, 9 days before his crisis PR specialist, Melissa Nathan, was even hired. That timeline doesn't just raise eyebrows, it raises serious questions about who was actually pulling the strings behind the supposed smear campaign.
But he is the most overly feminized man I've had to endure in
Industry insiders have noticed something striking about Blake Lively's lawsuit. It centers almost entirely on claims that Justin Baldoni damaged her reputation, while offering surprisingly little substance about the alleged misconduct that supposedly started it all. As one analyst put it, it's like suing someone for burning down your house but only complaining they tracked mud on your carpet. Legal experts say this case represents more than just a celebrity feud, it's exposing how image, influence, and media manipulation operate in modern Hollywood. What we're seeing is unprecedented, explains a veteran entertainment journalist. Usually, these PR wars play out quietly behind the scenes. But Blake's tactics were so aggressive, they spilled into the public eye. In the digital era, the old rules no longer apply. When Blake allegedly launched her campaign against Baldoni, she likely never imagined how fast the truth would unravel. Platforms like BookTalk, home to Colleen Hoover's passionate fanbase, became unexpected arenas where audiences demanded transparency and accountability. Now, Blake's once untouchable reputation is in free fall. The woman who built an empire on charm, effortless glamour, and the image of the perfect wife and mother is watching that golden persona fracture, revealing a far more complicated reality beneath the surface. For years, Blake Lively's carefully curated persona protected her from scrutiny, a golden shield built from charm, beauty, and the illusion of perfection. But that shield has finally shattered. Her credibility now lies in ruins, undone by contradictions and a growing trail of revelations. The woman once celebrated as a feminist icon and champion of authenticity now stands accused of masterminding an elaborate smear campaign. Industry whispers say the fallout is already underway, projects are stalling, and major brands are quietly reassessing their partnerships. Blake Lively had it all: fame, fortune, family, and the unwavering admiration of fans. But in trying to control every narrative, she may have lost it all. As Ryan Reynolds reportedly weighs his next move and powerhouse attorney Brian Friedman prepares to unleash his explosive new filing on Monday, Blake finds herself in truly uncharted waters, a world where charm no longer works, and influence offers no protection. Hollywood is watching closely. This scandal is no longer just about one actress or one film set, it's about power, image, and the truth finally forcing its way into the spotlight. Blake wanted to be seen as the heroine, the dragon slayer in her own story. Instead, she may become the cautionary tale whispered to rising stars about the dangers of believing your own myth. The perfect facade has finally cracked, and for Blake Lively, this may be the final act in her once flawless Hollywood fairytale. Stay tuned, because Monday's legal filing promises to be the most dramatic chapter yet.